Hello, folks. Not being as regular as I should be, but it is time to celebrate because 1 week is over. Only two more to go. Something very apt for this is top three cars. I mean, my top three cars. This goes back to 2011, and the car at number two is the Toyota FT86. I'm calling it FT86 because when I drove it, it was the FT86. It hadn't been rebadged. It wasn't on sale production as GT86 back then. This was 2011, if I'm not wrong. We'd gone to Japan for the Tokyo Motor Show. Toyota very kindly took us to the Fuji racetrack. Just outside the main track, there was another track, you could think of it as a biggish go kart track, which had undulations and this and that. And there was like a crowd of people there who were queuing up to drive this car. And which car was that? FT86. And we didn't have much time, and I said, forget it, we'll just queue up and hopefully we get an opportunity to drive it. And I drove it. That's the only time I've driven it. From the outside, it looks okay because of its shape and size, which is it's small and slow. It looks inviting. It looks something that gets your attention, but not wow. And then you get inside. You get inside, and it's like I remember there being a lot of plain plastics. It looking quite dry. I mean, it definitely didn't look and feel exciting on the inside. The plastics were maybe a little bit better than a Etios. Okay, but got in and you drove, and it was you forgot about all of that. Until today, it remains one of the most joyful experiences I've had with a car. And what makes it so special to me is that supercars are about performance, and they're about that superness about them, that speed, that acceleration. But this was a formula which the Mazda Miata did it, the MX-5 actually championed this in some ways, but this was unreal. I know the tires were from a Toyota Prius. The weight distribution was 4753, so like really crazy kind of work. What are the details? Some things. The roof is that thin. They used aluminium for it. The engine was pushed down and low, and of course, you know that this was developed jointly between Toyota and Subaru, which is why it had that boxer. And if you're thinking about the 86 references, some of these just I find so cool. Like it's 86 because the bore and the stroke are 86, and the exhaust tips diameter is also 86 millimeters. So the engineers really enjoyed themselves on this, right? What did it feel like to drive? Steering was small, it was light, it was fidgety. I mean, you would, what I think of it and what I remember it like was you'd have a hard time keeping it going in a straight line. It's a car that it'd be difficult to not misbehave in, but without all the worry and when you're driving bigger, more powerful cars, much more expensive cars, there's a seriousness, a weight, what should I call it, a worry, right? A worry when you're doing silly things. And here I wasn't trying to do anything silly in the FT86, and stuff happened, which was brilliant. And I went around that go-kart track maybe twice, and it was done like that. But since then, never forgot the chassis. Just, I mean, this is rare when you start raving about a chassis in a car today, which isn't, costing a couple of crores. It spoke to you. Every little detail, it spoke to you. Every little detail that could speak to me in 2 laps of a go-kart track, but it spoke to me loud and clear and just said, "You love me." And I said, "I love you." No two ways. And that was the GT86. And now there's a new generation FT86 around the corner, apparently. You leave a light on in the dark. These are the kind of cars that this is a car to me that feels, like no matter how dim and gloomy it gets, if they can make an FT86 as a GT86, there's hope, man. So that's week one done, and the GT86 as dream car number 2 in my life. And we'll talk about the others later. Bye. Hope you guys are staying safe. Families are good, healthy, happy. Yeah. Take care. Bye. Car is here's the funny thing. In my top three cars, um, dream cars, right? Two of them are Toyotas.